Hi everybody, Matt Graham here with Exploring the Ozarks, and I've got a couple really cool guests with me today for a little one-off segment of Matt's Moments. And today we're at Iguana Roja, and this is Brian Taylor, owner of Iguana Roja, and I'm with Mr. Jeffrey Bates, our foodie from the 417 area that knows everything about food, and you're about to learn a little bit more. Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah. Hey, I'm glad to be here.
I bet.
And I'm actually this is authentic, I'm authentically hungry. So you guys are going to get a real reaction today.
Oh man, for sure, because we were just talking about being hangry because we've been setting up for too long, and it's about 15 after noon, so I know I'm starting to get there too. But so Brian, tell us a little bit more about Iguana Roja. What does the name mean, first of all?
It means just a red iguana.
Red iguana.
We had a lot of those in Miami where I went to college, actually Fort Lauderdale. Spent a lot of my time through college and after getting my experience and being the chef and all that stuff.
Yeah, because it wasn't just college.
Yeah.
What college was this? Fort Lauderdale. That's a big school, right?
Yeah, it was the Art of Institutes. It was like a big thing down there. They had the contest down there once. So I just love the air, the beach and all that stuff.
Oh, you did love that area.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, you work around food all day and learn how to cook all these amazing things and still be at the beach. So that's not a bad gig to have. But we did talk about how broke you were. So beans and rice was your main thing for quite a while. So you made it through it all right. But tell us a little bit more about how that all transpired. I mean, you're from Nixa.
Yeah.
Go Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, David's not here for us to give him the Ozark talk. But so tell us a little bit about how that transition was for you. I mean, you grew up in Nixa. What made you decide to go all the way to Fort Lauderdale to go to culinary school?
I was in a contest down there, and like I said, I just love the area so well. So I just like the culture and the Latin culture they had down there. So I love to learn a lot of their methods and traditional ways of doing food down there too.
And my question would be is you said that you had a steady diet of rice and beans, but whenever you did splurge, what was your favorite dish in that area?
Anything seafood for
anything
sure.
Seafood, because it's right there.
Yeah, it's everything fresh food right there. They have the grouper, the best one you can get down there.
Oh,
my is good, and a snapper if you like snapper.
Yeah, I like snapper, red snapper.
Red snapper.
Definitely.
Yeah,
there's so many varieties of snapper too. I didn't know that until I get down there and talk to fishes. There's so many of them, so many regulations too. They have to have the same thing up here. Have to have how long before you can bring them and all that stuff. So it's cool to
just how to cook them in general.
Yeah,
especially when you're talking south of the border flavoring that you have, because you said you had teachers from all over South America, basically, and some of Mexico too, that were inspiring you to want to do all this stuff. So you graduate college, and then you decide, I'm just going to go open up a restaurant in Ozark, Missouri?
Yeah, actually, I was living myself and just living the 20s time. Just definitely living, being down there with my friends and all that stuff. My mom actually called me to open up here because her boyfriend is the owner of the building. So they need some attending to pay rent and all that stuff. So I can do that for sure. I can bring some of my
use your culinary degree to open up a restaurant. Well, good job, Mom. We love having Mom around, but it's such a cool spot though too. I mean, number one, this is a super historic square in the first place, but we are on the Ozark Square. If you're not familiar with Iguana Roja, not very far down the road anymore from getting here from Springfield or Nixa, but I know it's a destination for me, and I live south of Ozark, but being right here in Ozark, it's more of a community feel that you have in this restaurant. But just the ambiance of this place is pretty phenomenal. I mean, we're in a side room that most people probably don't even know is here.
I've been there 3 times. And when I used to the back corner, I was looking out there.
Right.
And then I saw that you were walking around here, so
Right. So, and we feel like we're kind of in someone's living room here is pretty much what this feels like, right?
It's cozy.
It's very cozy. I love it here.
Very Midwestern.
Yes, very much so. And we have a front porch, for goodness sakes, over here. You can't see it, but we do have a fireplace going just for some romantic feel to the place. Yeah, I almost put the flowers from Valentine's Day back on the table here. But well, Brian, thank you so much for spending a couple minutes with us. I know you probably have more things to do today, but
no worries.
We really appreciate you coming in, talking a little bit about it. But before you go, I gotta ask this the salt that you see on these chips that you'll have when you first come here.
Fairy dust.
We call that fairy dust. So tell us, so you can buy this stuff is it available still at Mama Jean's?
Yep, in the bulk area, and we sell bottles here.
And we sell bottles here, which every time I come here, I do leave with at least one or two because I put it on everything. I put it on my ribs. I put it on my corn even. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm putting fairy dust on.
Eggs. I love it on my eggs.
On your eggs. Perfect. There you go. Yeah. So can you tell us what's in the fairy dust, or is that a secret?
It is definitely a secret.
I'm sure it is. I've been all across the country.
Yeah.
And probably over 1,000 restaurants. And I've still never tasted anything that comes close to that fairy dust.
Thank you.
For real.
That's awesome.
There you go.
We like to. That was the thing though. When I opened this, we tried other restaurants too to see what they have. But I had to offer the chips come first,
Right.
Of course,
Have to, right?
And margaritas too. Had to be the best ones. Both of those. That's the best thing. I offered like the best of those.
Oh,
and then I think we'll get enough crowd. And everything fresh. Of
Yeah.
course. But like I said, the margaritas, we do those fresh too, so it's hard to find anybody actually squeeze limes and lemons and all that stuff for
Right.
the sour mix, and we do that. So.
There is no sweet and sour mix in his margaritas,
Yeah.
and that's why they're so good. But I know the spicy margarita is, you call it the what do you call it here?
Yeah,
The Iguana Roja. It's your signature drink.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's the best spicy margarita I've ever had in my life. When you say spicy, it's not like it's super, super spicy. It's got jalapenos in it with seeds, but it's cooled down so much that it just gives it kind of a smoky flavor in the background. And that's hard to find.
Calm it down too.
The pineapple, that's what it is in there. So you squeeze your own lemons, you squeeze your own limes, but we won't tell everybody what's in your fairy dust. What you do need to know is you can get it at Mama Jean's, or just come in here to Iguana Roja here on the square and get your little bottle for what, $4, $5? $5. It's something that you'll thank me for later, I promise. But well, Brian, thank you so much, man. And we've got our orders in, so we'll have some food out here in a second.
Yeah, order tamales. They're fresh.
Oh, yeah. Good. Perfect. So we appreciate it. We'll be seeing you guys here in just a few minutes.
So, Matt, this is something that you highly recommended. I've never had this before. What is it again?
So this is called the Queso Fundido Loco.
Look at that cheese pool right there.
I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, right? But there's so many things in it that no one's used to. I mean, this is a cheese dip that I've never seen anywhere. But theirs is real simple. I mean, everywhere you go, it's pretty much just the what is it? The queso, the white queso you get from most Mexican restaurants. The yellow queso.
Milk,
This has got all of the above in it, plus 3 more different types of cheese. Plus, it's got chorizo. I don't know if you caught that in there. But there's chorizo in there, black olives, all the different types of cheese, cilantro.
on top for garnish.
Yep.
See it?
The black olives inside of it too, and it's just the most amazing cheese dip I've ever had in my life. So far, out of the, what, 2 or 3 you've had, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's creamy, has a lot of flavor. I mean, it doesn't have like a lot of times like the cheese will have like filler,
Yeah.
Some people make it with water, whatever. But this really tastes like just incredibly creamy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's using milk or some kind of cream base. But yeah, it's on point. And especially with this fairy dust and the chips. I mean, it's a match made in heaven.
So chorizo, caramelized onions, roasted poblanos.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And mixed cheeses, which he's never going to tell us exactly what kind of cheeses are in it, right? That's a secret sauce, right? And then your black olives on it. So it's just a bunch of things that no one has really ever put together in one spot, and it's the best thing you'll ever have. Let's dive into a little bit more about Mexican places. How many do you think you've been to in the Springfield area now?
Just the Springfield area?
Yeah, just the Springfield area.
I'd probably say there's been a lot.
I mean, I see your page, and it's where can people find you, first of all, Jeff?
Well, they can find me on my name, Jeffrey Bates, on Facebook. It's 417 Good Eating on Instagram. TikTok is 417 Good Eating. I swear to you guys, the only thing I do on TikTok is post a video and get off of there. I don't know all those people doing those dance moves and acting like NPCs.
Oh, come on.
I'm out of here.
Jeff, come on.
But hey, if you do that NPC thing and you're getting paid, more power to you. Can't be me, though.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's where they can find me. But my biggest platform is Facebook. That's the one that I'm more interactive on. I feel like it's a better discourse between the people that follow the page and me, and it's just quick.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, because platform-wise, I think everybody talks about TikTok right now.
Yeah.
If you're in any industry like I am with real estate, it's always about make videos, do
Content.
videos. And it's really hard to do a video to come off to people that it's just something that they're always going to be interested in, especially when it comes to real estate. But you found a good niche with food.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who doesn't like food?
You got to eat.
You got to eat. So you might as well follow somebody that knows what they're talking about with food and who's been to a lot of different places.
Yeah.
So, I mean, every day you're going out and going to a different place. Is that kind of what your daily life is with Jeffrey Bates?
When we first started off, it was like a daily vlog. So we were going every single day. I think there was a stretch where we went like 60 days straight, spent tens of thousands of dollars. Because, we were just going out. Like, this was during the height of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
And we were just going out and showcasing the restaurants in the 417 area. So it was me and like maybe 5 or 6 other guys. It was like the Wu-Tang Clan, man. I'm telling you. Like, there were so many people in 417 Get Eating at that time that really helped contribute to the page. Like my brother Pierre, Kellen, a lot of people. If I didn't say your name, I'm just saying, like, a lot of people were in there. A lot of people were involved in supporting the community. So yeah, we went everywhere. It was every day, a different restaurant, every day. I did throw some repeats in there for places I really did like.
Yeah. That is expensive sounding, actually.
It was.
I feel like I eat out every day, and it could be pretty expensive just for myself, because food's not getting any cheaper.
No, it's not.
And especially
there was a
during
little
COVID.
cheaper back then.
Yeah, it was still pretty
I recommend
expensive.
it now for the people trying to get into the game. I don't know.
Get a loan first,
Yeah.
maybe, for a business loan, maybe.
You're
But
going to have to.
So-
Write off on your expenses for your taxes.
Absolutely. So, as far as what we've got coming, I ordered tamales. I can't wait to see those, because he actually makes those by hand every single week. He makes a batch of them. So it depends on the day you catch those.
Yeah.
I believe Thursdays is the day. So today's Thursday. So we
Today's
caught them on the
Thursday.
fresh day. But I've noticed, though, after a few days even, it's just like having leftovers. I wanted to talk about leftovers, actually, but I'm a big fan of leftovers. Some people don't like leftovers, but I do know that, after a few days of like a spaghetti meal sitting around, it like gets so much better after
Same
2 or
with
3
chili.
days.
Yeah,
same with chili. Same with tamales, I found.
Oh, my goodness.
No onions.
Right now, since I've been to so many places in Springfield, like, I just look for that next thing
You
that
guys
I'm
need
like,
anything? Want
oh,
anything?
no, we're good. Thank you so
Alrighty.
much.
We're good, thank you.
I just really look for that next thing that really piques my interest. That thing that I'm like, is there anything new out there? What haven't I tried? Or who's doing something that I've tried and I like, but it looks like they're doing it better?
Right.
So, I really go anywhere. Like I told you before, this whole thing started as me trying to travel across the country.
Right.
So I really don't care where it is. We've taken day trips down to Memphis, Tennessee to come right back because there's just something I just had to have. We drove all the way down to Florida, twice last year.
Dang.
To take my nephew down to Walt Disney World for his first time ever.
Okay.
We drove all the way down to California. We don't fly anywhere. We take the car. So there's really no place too far.
Gosh, man, no kidding.
Yeah.
So let's take a break for a second real quick, because we are going to explore more of what's going on these plates. And we'll be right back with more of a Jeffrey Bates. Now that we're back, now that we've got our food here, I got the tamales, and just looking at these things, just the presentation alone is amazing. But anything smothered in cheese, to me, I'm good with it, right?
Yeah.
So you got the BT bowl, which is like a burrito that's been taken apart, and there's really no tortilla at all. But which one did you get?
But you get these nice little prairie dusted chips.
Yeah.
This is the carne asada one.
Awesome.
And it's baked, so they put the cheese, but you can get it without the cheese, of course.
Every
And that's just a
occasion
regular
for you
one.
guys?
Oh yeah,
It is.
absolutely. Thank you. And they check on you very well here. So
That's right.
The service has been amazing.
Fantastic service.
But so Jeff, tell me a little bit about your process, because you've got all these places you go eat, but like I said, when you need to figure out a new place, what's a good place? Most people, we hope, go to your page to find out all these places.
Yeah.
But for your process, how hard is it to keep up with new places coming out? It seems like there's always one going out.
Right.
There's always one coming in. How do you keep up with all that?
Well, it's really not hard at all. So
Okay.
the fact that there's now 12,000 people on the page, foodies like myself, I get my inboxes filled up with recommendations.
You found a loophole in the system then.
Yeah, I found a loophole in the system.
So now you get so big, people are just suggesting all these new places, man.
Well, so many people are finding out about the page.
All right.
And I feel like the page, how it started, was like a community page, So it's like a page for the people. So yeah, the people help me find the new spots.
Right.
And plus, I pretty much got my finger on the pulse. And sometimes, or a lot of the times, these new places will just reach out to me because they see the work I'm already doing.
Even
they
better. And they're hitting you up, and you just go out there and eat some of their food. That's not a bad gig.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now that people are doing it, with you, so to speak. So it's cool that you want to include people because now it makes your job a little easier too.
That's right.
So what is your favorite type of food then? I mean, having all these different options. Out of all the genres, is it barbecue? Is it breakfast? Is it...
The one I eat the most is Mexican food.
It seems like it.
I mean, no, it is.
But there's a lot of Mexican places around the 417.
That's what I eat the most. The one that I could eat every single day, soul food. Like spots like Mimi's, Little City Soul Kitchen.
Oh.
I mean, I don't really classify Chicago Smirks as soul food, but places like Chicago Smirks, just good fried chicken, catfish.
Smirks,
green, stuff like that. But Mimi's soul food, their brown beans, their greens. I think they use mustard greens. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But I could eat soul food every single day. Now, should I eat soul food every single day? Maybe not. But I could eat it every single day.
But it's guys like me though. I rely on your page because, I work in Springfield. And I've got 3 different offices I can office out of if I want. So I'm always on different sides of town. But every single day, someone hits me up and they're like, "Hey, you want to go to lunch?" Or it's me saying, "Hey, you want to go to lunch?"
That's right.
And then it's, where do we go? It's the story of my life. It's the bane of my existence. Let's just go to XYZ place because we know it's there. We know it's easy to get to. We know it's generally priced okay.
Yeah.
We can get something different every time we're there, but it gets a little bit old to just go to the same place all the time. So
hey, you need variety. You want to switch it up a lot.
Absolutely, but I've noticed that since you came on our show, I didn't really know about you before.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful that I know you now, because now whenever I get on your page and someone calls me and they're like, "Hey, where you want to go to lunch?" I go to your page now.
Yeah, you could just
I just kind of stop
there
somewhere in the middle. I just let it roll and then I stop it and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that sounds good."
And you know what? The weird thing about that is I do the exact same thing. I'll get on there, close my eyes, hit the wheel, stop it, and that's where I'm going for the day.
I might just start calling it the lucky wheel and see what I get every day, And we send people to your page just so they can, explore some of these culinary things that we have in Springfield. But it seems like the last 10 years we've had such an influx of people from all over the world, really, not just the United States, that have moved here. And I'm starting to see all these little places popping up. And, the hardest part about anybody that opens a restaurant is being successful, especially your first 2 years. Yeah. You're spending a lot of money, you're marketing, hopefully. And then it's really sad to see some place that's like going out of business soon and you're like, well, I didn't even know about this.
You didn't know about it, that's right.
So having places like your page to go to, I think is a huge asset to the area because you're doing all this research for us. So thank you for making my lunch life a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
But then also whenever it's date night or something like that, it's the same story as my lunch story. It's like, me and my wife know the places we like to go, but then we're always like, well, let's go try something new.
That's right.
But then it's like, you end up not trying something new because you just
go
don't
to
know.
the old faithful.
Right. You're just
and that's another thing.
Easier.
The quickest way to get into the fight with your significant other. What do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? I just asked you.
Oh, man, that used to be a blow up in our whole family after church,
Because everybody's hungry.
Yeah, and Dad's like, where do you guys want to go? And we're all like, well, let's try this place or this place.
And then you end up at McDonald's because Dad's over.
Sometimes we just end up going home.
Yeah, you going up. You guys can't agree. We're going home.
Stop by, the big bucks KFC store and get some chicken on the way home or
going
something.
Sleep for dinner.
But what really struck me about your page and when we had you on the last time was, talking about your why for doing this, which I love talking about your why because you did a couple reviews and it was, talking about the big, we call them big box restaurants, I guess. Big chains. And, somebody hit you up and kind of poked you in the eye a little bit.
Yeah.
Was like, why don't you do this with, the mom and pops that are around the area?
And the thing with that is, just because you have something in your mind doesn't mean that everybody has it in their mind. So sometimes it takes you like, hey, did you think about doing it from this angle? And that's all, that's all you need to do.
Right. And that's kind of the crowdsourcing side of what you're doing, which is, it's instrumental in anybody, growing. I'm glad that you have people around you enough that are willing to poke you in the eye and be like, now come try this.
That's right.
Because you had Missouri Mike's or something like that hit you up because of was it a burrito or something you were trying? Was it the barbecue?
So Missouri Mike's, that was just organic. I mean, I saw that he had a food truck, popped up over there. And then he actually he thought we were going to roast him because he was new to the game. So he's like, yeah, whenever you guys pulled up, we didn't know. We thought you might trash us or whatever. I was like, no, your food is good. So that's how that relationship started. So no, Mike never reached out. But
Okay.
there have been other people. So like Tony Field, the guy that owned the carrot shops, that we talked about in the podcast.
That may be who it was, yeah.
He saw that I reviewed Popeye's chicken sandwich, and then he was like, "I can make a better chicken sandwich for cheaper.
Oh,
That's gonna, come from a mom and pop and not a big chain." So that's who reached out to me, got this whole thing kicked off.
gosh, man. Wow. It's just such an organic story that
Yeah.
you've gone from, 0 followers and putting a lot of heart into it to going and spending thousands of dollars to get this thing kicked off.
Yeah.
Now you got people that are giving you ideas. So if anybody out there has a new restaurant that they want to, maybe get some marketing for, hit up Jeff. So far, he's only got a couple bites in. So
No, but I hit the most important part because I got the carne asada. So if the carne asada is not good, I mean the whole thing's not good. But
Oh.
his carne asada is so seasoned, but it's tender. I mean, this is crazy.
It's like falling apart,
Yeah,
man.
but also with the crunch of the chip, like it's like a full experience. Like this is awesome. Like I'm glad you put me on this because I'm out here in Ozark, right?
Right.
I live out here, and like I usually drive into Springfield. I'm gonna have to come back and get this again.
Heck yeah. I
Oh,
get it
yeah.
every time I come here. And if you are, going out for a date night or something and you guys, I don't know if you guys drink much or anything, but I
I
promise
have
you.
drinks named after me, sir. In restaurants. Yes, I drink.
Then come back and get those jalapeno margaritas because
I'm coming back.
those.
After you start talking about how fresh they were,
Oh,
all I
man.
could think about is I need a drink right now.
Yeah, and he's even got some dragon fruit that he'll put in it or whatever else that, it's really special the way that I love that, restaurants, number one, I love when they're local. In chains, that's great whenever I'm in a hurry or whatever. But places like this, I just love supporting mom and pop shops.
That's right.
And Brian's about as low key as it gets there. So, but I think otherwise, man, at this point, I think we're going to get a few bites in before this food gets cold. We might come back. We might not. Well, it just depends on how much we need to eat here real quick. So, but Jeffrey Bates, thank you so much for being here, man.
Hey, thanks for
Appreciate it,
having me,
dude.
man.
Yeah, man. We'll do this again, some other places, and everybody else just keep exploring the Ozarks.
Thanks again for listening to Exploring the Ozarks. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our social media channels to help us keep exploring the stories of the Ozarks. If you're looking for more ways to support our show, we have sponsorships for businesses and Patreon for individual supporters. Check the links in the description for more details. Thanks for your support, and keep exploring the Ozarks.